Okay, you guys, I've got a new comedian I'm going to check out. He has been recommended. His name is Brandon Vestal. I guess that's how you pronounce his last name. The specific bit or routine of his that was recommended was something about Republicans aren't real people, or Republicans aren't real, or something like that. And I did look that up and I did save it to check out. But the thing is, it's like 40 minutes long, and that's a bit on the lengthy side. If I do watch that whole thing, I would split it up into parts, or maybe put it up on like my Patreon and Subscribestar or something like that. So I don't know, we'll see. But I did find a smaller clip of something that he did, and this is only about 5 minutes long, a little bit more than 5 minutes long, and it's called Brandon Vestal on the Political Division and Child Nursing Gone Wrong. The date of this video was 2019. However, I have a feeling that some of the material he's going to be talking about, especially the political division stuff, is probably going to be pretty accurate, even for today. So let's go ahead and check it out.
Guys, I just did a casino in Laughlin, Nevada last weekend. I never been to Laughlin, Nevada. I didn't know what to expect, but I'll tell you this, I'll never forget it.
Okay.
Because I've never been the third best looking person in an entire city before.
Okay.
It was an incredible weekend.
Okay.
Never felt like that before. They were asking me questions. They're like, what's that on your arms? It's like, those are sleeves.
Oh, so what's is it okay? This place he mentioned, is it like a hickey sort of like back country bumpkin type? I mean, I don't know. I've never heard of that town that he mentioned. So I guess this is funny to people who are familiar with it.
I was walking down the street in Hollywood the other day, and there was a guy on the corner, and he was yelling at all of us that walked by, telling us we were all going to hell because we live in California, and we're a bunch of sinners, and we don't take the Bible seriously enough, and God is going to strike down upon us and take us all out.
They don't just do that in California. I've had people in my area that would do that outside of the place where I used to work, routinely stand out there and yell at people, and I am very far away from California, so they exist everywhere.
And there's a guy across the street from him yelling at him, telling him he's an idiot and he needs to go home and shut up. And no one believes in the Bible. It's a bunch of made up stuff. And I don't know who won the fight.
Neither one of them.
Because, yeah, if you take the stories of the Bible literally, they're pretty out there. It's kind of hard to get on board with that. But on the flip side, the state of California does just catch on fire.
Oh, what's happening now? Kind of sad, really.
All the time.
Yeah.
Guys, I've been to every other state, and none of them just combust 5 times a year. I don't know what we need to change, but something needs to change.
All right, what's going on in California, y'all?
We've got a very divided country right now, but 2020 is about to start, so that should bring us all back together.
You know, it's like I've kind of divided my life now. Like before, when 9/11 happened, my life was segmented in pre 9/11 and after, like post 9/11, and now it's segmented into pre-COVID, or BC before COVID, and AC after COVID. And then, of course, all this other crap that's been going on. So, Boyd, he had no clue, did he? I mean, it's actually kind of sad when you... I mean, he was being sarcastic, obviously. No, things are definitely not going to get better from one year to the next as far as, you know, political differences like that. But, I mean, clearly it was tongue-in-cheek, but it was like, oh, it's so much worse, it feels like.
You've probably heard this your whole life, and I've heard it my whole life, is that the world would be a much better place if everyone could just express themselves. If everyone had the ability to express themselves freely, the world would be a much better place. Well, we've had social media for about 10 years now, and everyone has the ability to express themselves.
Yeah.
What do you think?
His face.
I think that could have been a mistake. Can you imagine telling our founding fathers about Twitter?
Gosh.
We wouldn't have that First Amendment.
Mm.
They'd scratch that first. They're like, oh, no.
I don't think they would, actually.
No.
But I guess.
Because when they gave us that First Amendment, that was back in the day. That everyone lived off in the farms, middle of nowhere. The government's like, yeah, say whatever you want. I don't care. Who cares?
I have made the point, though, that I made this point on the Jim Jeffries video. At the very end of it, it was something that I put in text because I had forgotten to bring it up about the Bill of Rights, the First Amendment, and because Jim Jeffries touched on the whole thing about, oh, you know, the common thing we hear about in the gun control debate, we commonly hear, well, they wrote the Second Amendment when there was just muskets and stuff like that. And my number one point was that, well, even back then, they did have a machine gun style rifle, but that is actually irrelevant. The founding fathers, they weren't complete idiots. I mean, everybody can be an idiot to some degree or another. They were not. I personally feel like they were pretty smart and forward thinking, despite some of their personal flaws, which everybody has. But you know, I'm pretty sure they knew that advancements in technology were coming, but they still felt like that right was very important. Just like the right to freedom of expression. We don't stop or we don't hinder. I mean, some people do, yes, but I'm just talking about in general. You don't hinder. I mean, free speech is important no matter where it is. We have all this technological advancement these days, the internet, which was not around way back then, but the freedom of expression is still important, an important concept. So, you know, I do get what he's saying. It's you know, social media has not been that great for society in a lot of ways, but in a lot of ways, it's been wonderful. Okay. Sorry, you guys. I'm trying this new deal where whenever something occurs to me, I stop it and say it before I forget. Okay. I'm going to jump back just a tiny bit and turn it back on.
If you want to talk smack to George Washington back in the day, you had to put your family in a buggy. It was going to take you like 6 months to go 20 miles, and half that family was going to die of tuberculosis.
His face.
Me and my wife had a kid. We had a kid. We still have it. Still have it.
Okay.
He's about to turn 4, so I guess we're committed to this thing.
It's
This is my first kid. I was an only child. I don't have any kid experience before this, so I always get yelled at for stuff, not knowing what to do. I don't agree with all of them. When he was 7 months old, I was feeding him a bottle on the couch. My wife walked in and she flipped out on me. She's like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" I say, "I'm keeping it alive."
Yeah.
And this is what she says. She goes, "I don't want to have too many baby bottles because if he has too many baby bottles, he's going to like the baby bottle nipple more than he likes the real thing. And then I'm not going to latch on to the real thing because he's going to want that plastic baby bottle." And I was like, "We don't have anything to worry about then. Because no son of mine is going to prefer a plastic baby bottle nipple to the real thing. No son of anybody. I tried it just to be sure. It's not even close."
Okay. I'm sure he gets the whole reason why she said what she did. It is because it's easier for the baby to drink out of a bottle. They have less effort they have to make as opposed to when they breastfeed, which takes more effort. So that was her point. Anyway, okay. Sorry, get my little soapbox there.
And if it was close, you wouldn't be able to keep baby bottles on the shelves. Every lonely guy in America be buying up all the baby bottles. You ladies would be buying your own drinks. That'd be hard to compete with, ladies, because we could put our drink of choice in a baby bottle, have a little reward as we go. Last time I checked, you can't shoot Dr. Pepper out of your tits. But if you can, please meet me after the show right over here. My wife gave me a pass. She said, if you find that, you gots to do it. That's my time, you guys. Enjoy your lives.
Okay, that was pretty short. Yes, I knew that it was. Okay, so this guy, he's funny, kind of like on a low key. You know, his style of humor is real. I've seen some others like him, where they're not super active or aggressive or acting out their, the stuff that they're talking about. He just sort of, just standing there having a discussion, and he doesn't have a huge amount of inflection in his voice. A lot of his humor is just in his timing and his facial expressions, his subtle sarcasm, or maybe not so subtle sarcasm. So he was fun. He wasn't the lack of high energy, which that's just probably his thing. It wasn't super hilarious to me, but the stuff he was talking about was kind of a little bit pertinent, quite a bit pertinent to stuff that's happening these days. And so I am interested to check out more of his stuff. Like I said, I don't know when I would get around to that really long ass video, but maybe there are shorter ones that I can check out. And if you guys know of any others specifically that you think are really funny, just let me know, and I will certainly add it to my list. But other than that, I think I've kind of, as the video went along, I expressed the different thoughts that occurred to me as they occurred to me. So I feel like I'm kind of wrapping this one up earlier or sooner than I typically would, just because I kind of keep my thoughts in my brain, or try to anyway, until the end of the video. And then, consequently, like I've said, sometimes I forget what I'm going to say. So I'm going to try this more often. It might annoy some people, but I figure that a lot of people that come to watch these particular videos, they already know the source material for the most part. So hopefully that will be okay with you guys. Anyway, okay, well, I'm drawing a blank, so I guess I'm going to go ahead and wrap this one up. Nos vemos.